everyone, Steve here from Tech Toy Tinker and Retro Arena. We're going to do a video today to take a little bit of a deeper dive into ArkOS 2.0 for the Anbernic RG503. To start off here in the options menu, you're going to immediately want to go to advanced and you're going to want to switch to SD2 for your ROMs. It can be multiple formats, NTFS, FAT32, ext4 if you're a Linux user, exFAT. But SD2, you need to enable it manually. When you do this, you just insert a blank, freshly formatted card. It'll copy the ROMs folder and everything over for you so that you don't have to worry about none of that stuff. Here you can enable or disable Wi-Fi should you need to save battery power. These options here are pretty self-explanatory. You can change your core settings and RetroArch settings and then come back and restore it to default if you make a mistake or something bad happens. You can clear the last played, fix your hotkeys, you can back up your settings. Now in the tools menu here, there's Amber Themes and Ports Master. Ports Master is where you download the ports from. It won't give you the actual game files, but it will build the folder structure and get the installer and launcher and everything ready, so you just need to add the game files yourself. This is a file manager. This would change the LED from green to red. Change your Wi-Fi password or internet password. Enable or disable SSH and remote services. This is for multi-disc PlayStation 1 titles. This is self-explanatory, I feel. This will change your launch image to a more pixel type format as opposed to the ArkOS logo. And this is the OTA updater. You can mount a USB drive, and this is where you connect to Wi-Fi. You use this settings here, or this menu here, to directly launch the RetroArch GUI. Give you guys a quick look at the systems that are on here right now, and then I'll go through and show some gameplay. Philips CDI and there's one other one, Tiger LCD, are missing from the theme. I've already notified JetUp though, so they will be added, and you can just re-download the theme and it'll fix it for you. You can update the theme, I should say. So there's a quick look at the systems that are here currently. And now there's the Tiger LCD I said was missing. And now we're going to do some game testing. This videos here is how you watch movies or TV shows from your device. It's using FF Play for video playback. I'm going to try to go with some of the harder to emulate systems because everything runs Game Boy. There's no point in showing that. You can also go, you press start on a system, you go to emulator settings, it will allow you to pick what you think is going to be the best emulator. Generally speaking, for RetroArch, when it comes to Dreamcast, Naomi Atmosphere, you're going to want to go with Flycast 32 Rumble. It seems to be the best performing core. As you can see though, it's got good performance. 3DO is a new addition because this chipset is actually able to handle it at a playable speed, so now it's available. It takes a moment to load, but it works fine.
Time to teach someone some manners. Bob Hope has more color in his cheeks.
In favor of not making this video an hour long, I'm going to try not to play games for more than a minute or two. Oops. Nintendo 64 here is a very large improvement over the previous systems, or previous handhelds, I should say. It's important when you're trying to run Nintendo 64 on this, unless you specifically want the core for a reason, like to use Parallel for Rumble, you should always use the standalone. You can use Rice or Glide. Rice runs a little bit better but has some graphic issues. Glide works fine for most games, so I advise to use that.
Here we go. Donkey Kong.
As you can see, we've got some big performance improvements here. This chipset really does help a lot, and Christian's done a really good job setting up his build at the same time. The two things combined make a much better experience. I'm going to regret this because I didn't test out the hotkeys or figure out how this works before I launched a game, but we're doing it anyway. Well, that was uneventful. Let's try that again. Could just be a bad game dump or something. Or maybe it's just my capture card. I can't see it on my end. I don't know if you guys can. I won't know until after the video. I can definitely hear the audio. For Sega Saturn, you're going to also want to use Standalone Yabasanshiro. This is probably my favorite Saturn game, so I'll just play this.
Saturn Bomberman.
Let's throw a curveball at it and try something that's really hard to run, like Sega Rally Championship. I have a feeling we might be pleasantly surprised.
Sega Rally Championship. Three, two, one, go! Easy right. Easy left. right. Wow. Over jump. Easy right. Long medium right. Check one. Easy right. Over jump. Easy left. Wow. Easy left, easy right. Wow.
That was surprisingly good. I wasn't having any issues playing that.
Namco. Welcome back to the stage of history. Frank versus Maxi. Battle 1, fight! This you win!
This game's notoriously hard to run, so let's try it just to see.
And now, here they are. The
Doesn't seem like it's gonna work. These games do work, but you need to tweak the settings a lot, and they're playable, but they're far from perfect. So just be warned about that. PSP, a lot of games work, but there's a fair number that are kind of as well. So just be prepared for that. Honestly, I don't feel like setting the clock to default. I already know that that's bad news. If a game asks you to do that, you can expect it might be a little bit of a problem to run. You can try it though. I mean, frame skip X1 usually isn't too bad. You don't want to go higher than 1 though. PSP doesn't really like me today on this ArkOS. I don't know why. Hey, there we go. Something's loading. There we go. I intentionally threw some harder to run stuff or stuff I didn't think would work well just to kind of give you guys a realistic expectation of how this is going to work. I'm going to try an experiment real quick. Well, it booted the game, but now it's in a tiny corner of the screen. Seems like one PSP launches certain games that another won't, but we're going to have to fix the screen ratio on it. I don't suspect that that's overly hard to do, though. I'll mention it to Christian right away, and we'll get it checked out. This is on my SD card. You won't see this in the public build. This is Standalone ScummVM, and as such it can run things like Monkey Island 3 and Grim Fandango and the 3D games because Scum and Residual have merged into one emulator. And we're back around to where we started. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.